Now, I've just told you a story about Jesus going to a wedding. Let's tell another story when Jesus goes to a feast. He goes to Jerusalem to the Feast of Passover, and that was just like a circus. People came from everywhere, and they're meeting relatives, and they're visiting, and it lasts for over a week. And Jesus came to the temple, and it's a mess. It's absolute chaos. The priests have set up tables and they're changing money and they're not giving the people the right amount. Suppose you had a dollar bill and you needed to turn it in and you were supposed to get 70 cents back on that dollar bill. They would only give you 50 cents and you'd just be stuck because you'd have to use Jewish money. And then if you'd come all the way from Italy and you'd brought a little lamb with you that you'd been raising and it was perfect and you got there, the priest would say, "Nah, that lamb won't do. You're going to have to buy one of ours." And they'd make you buy one of the lambs that they had raised at Bethlehem. Those priests and Pharisees and scribes were making over $300,000 on the people that came to the Passover feast. And there were goats and doves and sheep and money and a mass of people. And just imagine the noise. And Jesus walked into this. It's like a huge parking lot with the temple right behind it. And he was furious. Now, we have anger because it's a good emotion when it's used for the right reason. But with anger must go a good action. And Jesus did what his mother told him to do at the wedding. Now he's at the temple, and he knows that the Father in heaven will not be at all happy about all of the lying and cheating and stealing that's going on in his house. And so Jesus makes a whip. And he doesn't hit anybody with it, he just cracks it. And boy, it makes a big noise. Now, let me tell you what's happening, because this is amazing. This is another miracle. And sometimes we don't think of this as a miracle. But on one side was the Tower of Antonio. In the Tower of Antonio were Roman soldiers. And the Roman soldiers were there to look down on the temple area and make sure that the Jews didn't riot and that everything went well. In the temple area, walking around, were the Jewish soldiers. And they were there to see that everything went as it should in the temple area. Well, Jesus cracked that whip. He went over and threw the money changers over. Money's running around all over the floor, and people are scrambling to pick it up. He let the goats and the sheep loose. He let the birds out of their cages, and the doves flew off. It was a mess. And you know what? The soldiers in the Tower of Antonio did nothing to stop him. The Jewish soldiers, right there in the middle of all of this, did nothing to stop him. And when it was over, the only question asked, when Jesus has made a complete mess out of everything that they were doing, is they wanted to know, who gave you the authority to do that? And Jesus said, you're not going to make my Father's house a den of thieves. Now, it's wrong to lose your temper if it isn't for a good reason. Jesus could get angry as well as be compassionate, as well as be obedient. And he was angry because people were being cheated. Now, just remember that. When you get ready to cheat on a test or lie to your mother, Jesus hates that. And that's why he turned over the tables and shooed the people out of the temple area. It was because they were cheating in his Father's house.